insurance agent. They're your promise keepers. Whether it's auto, home, business, life, or health insurance, they're here to protect what matters to you most. You can check them out at royaloathinsurance.com or give them a call at 586-238-3535. And, of course, today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends at Connection, the CRM built for closers. If you're a real estate agent, entrepreneur, or small business owner looking to automate, follow up, and close more deals and stay top of mind, then Connection is your secret weapon. Go to yourconnection.com and take control of your pipeline today. Now, whether you're tuning in live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or X, catching the replay on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you stream, we're glad you're here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. All right, guys, let's get locked in. We've got a powerhouse show lined up today, and if you're in business or real estate or just building something big, this one is for you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Elite Real Estate Podcast, and where we go live every Friday morning, and we're live everywhere right now, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find the Elite Edge Network. And then you go to the eliteedgenetwork.com, find all of our information there. The Elite Real Estate Podcast, find that wherever you find podcasts. And we'll go from there. But I am always excited on a Friday morning, man, when I get somebody in studio, because it's the best in studio experience, I think, to have this face to face. My man, Mo Hassan from Rocket Mortgage. What's up, my man? How are you?
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
It's such a pleasure.
Of course. Now, Mo's going to show me up because he's got this radio voice. Like, he's got this, like, for those old folks, remember like Alan Allman, right? Like you don't even know who Alan Allman is.
I wish I did.
Yeah. So he was a late night radio show host here in Detroit.
Okay.
And like, it was Pillow Talk with Alan Allman. You know what I mean? Like, so all the ladies loved Alan Allman, and that's why the ladies love you, because it's that, you got that voice.
Yeah. It recently happened a couple of years ago. Someone was like, "Hey man, I like your voice. It's kind of, you sound like an Arab Jason Statham."
Oh, that's fantastic. An Arab Jason Statham. I love it. I love it, man. So, Mo, you're a loan officer, mortgage guy, right? And you've always spent your time in this industry on the mortgage side, right? Never dealt in real estate because you're like, I'll let you guys run around with chickens with your head cut off and run people around all town. I'll just write the loans.
Yeah. Only on like if I'm buying property or anything.
Yeah.
Never have I ever sold as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
It's been mortgages the entire time.
I love it, man. And how long have you been doing mortgages?
It'll be 6 years in July.
Okay.
July 2nd, 2020. It's the first day. I remember like it was yesterday. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that first day like?
Well, it's I was an assistant manager at a T-Mobile, corporate T-Mobile prior to, and I'd kind of worked my way up. Worked all through college as a mobile expert, as they called it. So I sold T-Mobile, became a manager at the store right here in 16 DeQuinder. And I had a customer of mine who came in. He's like, "Hey man, like, you got to come work for Quicken Loans.
This call is being recorded.
You are in the wrong profession." And so I did the interview with Quicken Loans at the time, and it was like a complete step back. It was like starting fresh. Like, I built my way up to manager of the store, and next is getting into corporate, and then now I'm going all the way back to square one. But I saw the promised land.
Yeah.
I saw what was waiting, and that's what drove me at the time. So I was excited. So much friction. What are you doing? Where are you going? Oh, you're riding the Quicken train. Oh, you're gonna do that. Well, let's see how long you'll last. I'm like, I don't really care what you have to say. I'm gonna give this a go. I'm 22 years old. This is what I do. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And it's been a ride.
Yeah.
It's been a ride.
Yeah. It's an interesting place because, I work there too.
Yeah.
Right. So it's an interesting place because I learned more about business in my, 5 years there.
Yeah.
Than anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
I owe a lot to stage presence, presentations, a lot of that's, I learned a ton of that there. You know what I mean? Like I never was afraid of public speaking in my entire life. Like I don't know why. It just, I don't know if it goes back to the sports and playing in front of crowds. Like, it never bothered me. But like what Quicken did with me was they understood that I was a coach coming in, right? So I was coaching at the time, basketball, and they just like opened that to me, like, and it was a lot of and I owe a lot to the people that were around me, like Tony Knuckles, right? Yeah. So I just had conversations with Tony this week, but like, showing me like, hey, you're doing this already. Now do it like this.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And so it was like a really eye opening to me. And I owe a lot there, man. Like you learn a lot. It's
And quick.
yeah.
You
Well, you
know?
got to be quick.
Yeah, it was because at
You
the
got to be
time,
quick or you're out.
oh yeah, literally, it often does times feel like that. At the time, it was COVID, and so they were like training was so minimal. It was 30 days safe. Past that, you're on the dialer.
Yeah.
30 days, and within 90 days, I'm a full on banker.
Yep.
And they're like, you're doing the same exact thing as a Triple Crown banker that's been here 20 years is doing. You're like, wow, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then you get on, and it's just at the time, it was just like call, 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 call. You're selling 3% to people that 7, 6. It wasn't exactly very difficult. You didn't
Right.
have to be a very good banker to get a bunch of at bats. So
Yeah.
even if you weren't inherently good, they had such a system laid down. That safe book, you read that book 3-4 times, you will pass.
Yeah.
I'm not a standard form test taker. Like I'm not best at it, but I followed the system and I tried. I tried. Like I remember I was like, what I want is on the other side of this. So I was selling cars at my buddy's dealership at the time on the weekends, working at Quicken, studying all week, selling cars, reading the book. On the 4th week, take the test. Then you're on the phone.
Yeah.
On the floor selling.
It's a wild ride, man. So because my last role there, I was the banker coach in the foundation.
Oh yeah.
So that was my role, right? So I rolled around the floor, hopped into live calls, listened to people, how our people were talking.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
You send them the message while they're on the call?
Yeah.
Hey, say this.
Yeah. Because they miss, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a pretty cool tool. Again, I wish I could do that with realtors, right? Like, I wish I could have a bunch of realtors in a room, have them call in to try to set appointments, and then me just roll in there and go, so like a banker one time, an example, I always bring this example up. Like he was on the phone, I'm listening live, and the client, the customer was like, yeah, I just got engaged, and we're going on, and he's like, oh, good, and he moved right to the next thing. I'm like, whoa, man. I go, did you just hear? He just said he just got engaged. Yeah. Like this is it now. Sell this guy because he just got engaged. He's got to buy a house.
Make him feel good.
Yeah, and he went back to it. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm like, those are. But again, you spend so much time on the phone.
Yeah,
you miss stuff.
That saved the call. Yeah, like you letting him know to go back because like him sharing that. If he didn't want to share it, he wouldn't have. Right. And he mentioned it because he's inherently proud. Like he's happy about that. Yeah. Make him feel good about it. Yeah. It's a big part of what I do and what we do is making people feel good about the decision that they're making. And I watched this video literally this morning. He goes, people don't like to be shopped or to be sold, but they love shopping with their friends. Mm. And you're not there to sell them. You're there to make them feel good about the decision they're embarking on. And you're there as their confidant. And that way they feel comfortable. And the way you do that is exactly that. You make them feel good about what they're doing. Hey, man, congratulations. That's a big step. I'm so happy for you. And I'm honored to be a part of this and to be part of this journey and where you're going to, hopefully get married, build a family, have your starter family, have your few kids and maybe a dog and the first, a couple barbecues and, the baby shower, having everybody over for Christmas, on Thanksgiving, all the holidays, like those are the moments that keep people coming like, hey, Mo, we just had Christmas. This wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for you. And I'm like, come on, man. Like I crunched some numbers and I talked to you on the phone. Like I didn't do much, but to them, what we do is it holds a really valuable piece in there.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, and with this voice, everybody's listening right now. Like Mo's how many of my loans you gonna write today? You start calling people early in the morning, man, and just start rolling with closing some deals.
Yeah, it's funny. They're like, you got a face for radio. No, I got a voice for radio.
I got the face for radio.
No, that's not.
But no, man, it's true. And I think you're right. And I think that's one of the things that we miss out a lot in this business and in our industry is that we're literally like changing people's lives. You know what I mean? Like we are literally, us as realtors, we're going and showing the houses or selling the house. And again, selling is not always fun either, right? Because there's two things that happen in this country every day: death, divorce. And usually a house sale comes with it.
Mm.
Well, selling a house because of those two reasons isn't great.
Isn't that fun?
You know what I mean? But it has to be done.
Right.
It has to be done, and it has to be done with care.
Sure.
And I think that's the same thing. Like you talk about, like, yeah, you're writing loans, right? Like it's somebody from the outside can go, yeah, you just write a bunch of loans. Like that's all you're doing. But literally, if you're saving that person financially, right? Whether that's a refi because they need to pull some money out, whether that's whatever that situation is that they need at the time, maybe it's medical bills, maybe it's just credit card consolidation, whatever the case, like you're changing that person's life.
Yeah.
You know,
it's it's all how you position the frame. And so I remember I was talking about the power of working with Quicken Loans and Rocket now on one of my videos, and how we don't sell the loan off, how that holds value, because you're not going to get bombarded by a bunch of people. It's one main point of contact. And someone made a comment. He goes, "Mortgages are a dime a dozen. There's nothing special about you." And I read that comment, and I'm like, to some extent, he's not wrong.
right?
To some extent, he is not incorrect. And the only thing that differs me, besides price and reputation and brand name, is the relationship. It's the only thing that differs me. That's the only thing that'll hold any weight when someone else calls him and sells him a half point, quarter point, right? With a name that they don't know.
Yep.
They don't care about the name. Like, what's your rate? Well, we'll get there. I'm not here for just this.
Yeah.
I'm here to connect with you.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, you've got my.
Yep.
Got two.
Mo's got the burner phone.
It holds value, man. It really does. It's nice. It's nice having two. And like people are like, oh, it's too much. It's really not. It really isn't. There's something about when you're off, you just turn that off, and you're like, that's off.
Yeah.
I can kind of.
So for you LOs out there watching right now, you need to get two phones, because you're gonna have one that because you have just one work and then one is your personal.
One is my personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't, we're not friends. Like, this is my personal. So,
which one am I in?
Both.
Yes.
You're in both. Because you're also his realtor, and then as Jimmy J.
Oh man. But you're touching on something. I think that, again, we talk in this industry in general that we miss out on a lot, and that's building that relationship. And whether that's the relationship between you and the realtor, or you and your client. And I think realtors, a lot of times, again, I can go shows. The nice part I like about going to show houses, right, is like you're making a relationship now with that person face to face. And that's probably harder for you guys. Is because it's not a lot. You guys don't get a lot of face-to-face. Yours is typically over the phone, which for those of you that are in sales out there, creating that relationship over the phone, not easy.
It's not easy, but there's unconventional ways to go around that. This is something that's kind of taboo, but social media.
Yeah.
And having a page where it's not like I'm just adding you on my personal face. I'm adding you to a page where I'm making content specifically for what we're talking about. Hey, do you have social? I'd love to connect. And then so many times, like, oh, I didn't know that's what you look like. I'll get that all the time. But yeah, over the phone. Look, it's funny because initially when you first start, you have no idea what you're talking about as a banker, and you're scared and you feel like you're getting thrown to the wolves, and you get a client that knows something about something, and they're actually hammering you with questions, and you're just like, I don't know the answers to these questions. And, it's like, and you're getting bombarded and no one's answering. And then the first year was on Zoom. My first year was completely remote.
Yeah.
So I haven't met my directors. All these clients I'm talking to all over the country, I've never met. I'm sitting in my room. I'm talking to all these people all over about some of the most massive decisions they've made. And I'm like, what's going on? But the beginning, you hide behind the brand and you leverage the fact that they don't know you. It's fine that you don't know because you're on the phone with me because it's Quicken Loans.
Right.
Because you know the name. But then soon after, I had a mentor who was like, listen, if you don't focus on these relationships, this lake that everybody's drinking out right now, which is the percent rate, it's going to dry up. Eventually, you'll be parched. So it's like you need to start focusing on the relationships now. That was in the beginning of 2022 when rates were still low.
Yeah.
That's when I embarked on referral-based. And thank God for it. Because very soon after, when the spike happened, that was the shakeout.
Yeah.
When I started, Rocket was hiring 400 people a month. 400 people a month.
Yep.
And then I remember in my class, there was like 286 people. And then within a year, there was like 10. And then 2 years in, there's 3. And then now there's literally me and one other person left. Everyone else has left.
Yeah.
Eddie Hadar. Shout out Eddie. He's still rolling. But first you hide behind the brand and then you build a name for yourself. And that's really how you're able to referral.
Yeah.
Hard to earn, easy to maintain.
Yeah. Well, it is if you're doing the right things, right? Like that's the maintain thing is just having conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it seems easy, but that's one thing we lose a lot. I mean, there's NAR statistics for us as real estate agents. I just read this last week, but they did a poll. 84% of people that bought a house said they would use the same realtor again, but less than 20% do.
Really?
Yes.
20%?
Yeah.
That seems crazy.
Yeah. Because the realtor doesn't stay in touch with them.
20%? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah. 20%. Yeah. Because the realtor, we don't like inherently, we're not good at staying in front of people. We're on to the next. Like we're on to the next. And it's same thing happens in mortgages, right? Like we're on a lot of mortgage guys. Next.
I can hear Chris Osterlin. He's like, drip campaigns. Put him on a drip campaign.
It's true though, right? Like that's where technology has helped us.
Oh yeah,
tremendously. Right. And if you're not, but again, same thing with realtors though. With the way I coach, when I coach and train teams, it's like the first thing I look at is their systems, because what's your system and your process is doing. Are they drip campaigning? Are they staying in front? Are you staying top of mind? Do you have a newsletter that's going out? Like, do you have are you staying in front of your people, especially your past clients? Because they'll go somewhere else. Like they'll click on Zillow again and find somebody else. They'll get another agent. Yeah. And so they'll get one because they don't realize what we do. Right. We're 1099. We don't make any money unless we sell houses. But the general population doesn't understand that part. Right. So they just think, oh, you're getting a paycheck. It's like, well, no, not unless we buy something, right? Like not unless you buy something, I don't get paid. So that's a big part of it. So but we, running big teams, I literally had, we had agents get a Zillow lead. They go out, show them the house. And the next day, a different agent gets the same person because they went back into Zillow and clicked on a different house and they got a different person.
Yeah. You see, that's something I appreciate. Like I haven't had this issue since I was at T-Mobile, where I have to deal with my colleague dealing with the same client. I haven't ever had to deal with that.
Yeah.
And at Rocket's so big where that rarely happened because there's so many leads. And then I've been referral based all over. My business is pretty scattered all over the country. So it's like the likelihood that someone I work with gets in contact with a deal of mine, very unlikely.
Yeah.
But I can see how that would be completely different. But it's wild to me because I feel like the real estate agent holds a more weight to the client than the mortgage person does. But I guess it's an easier avenue because of Zillow and Redfin and whatever. Like there's so many different avenues, like to connect the client with the product versus in mortgage. They're like, I don't know what product I need. You know what I mean? I just need someone. Oh, I remember Mo was the guy that helped me the last time. Let me just call him.
Right.
Versus there's something that's like sexy to the eye. But they're like, I don't remember him. I just need this house. Can you get it? I'm not going to wait for him to respond. Like, you're ready right now. Just show me this house.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just me thinking.
Yeah. And it's, again, it goes back to creating that relationship.
Exactly.
If you don't create the relationship, then it doesn't matter. Right. And that's how I coach agents all the time too. Like if you're not creating that relationship where that client is going to stay with you no matter what.
Right.
There's, because now we have buyer's agency, right? Like, so you got to, I got to get buyer's agency. And, some people are skeptical. Like, I'm not signing. I just met you. Why am I signing a contract with you? We just met. And so we have individual ones, like we have single use ones. And then we have ones that will lock you in for however much time we need to lock you in for. So we have two different styles, but again, we still need them. But I think that, again, it goes back to cultivating that relationship, making sure that person is not going to just go to some other random person. And again, like if you're going out of town as a realtor, if you're leaving the state or whatever for the weekend and you have a client you're actively working with, like set them up with a partnered agent with you. Because they'll go find if they see something over the weekend and you're gone, and because you should be able to take vacation, right? It shouldn't
Yeah.
be like you're locked in here to
Yeah.
do this, but like make sure that you communicate that with your client because they'll go somewhere else. All right. But so how do you mentioned something that you have these relationships, right, all over the country. So explain that part to me, the Rocket local, right? Like how is that different than Rocket?
Sure. There's like an epidemic at Rocket Retail right now where they're like because they're working directly with the client. A lot of times what goes overlooked is working with the realtor. And what people need to understand that if you're an MLO is that when it comes to purchase business, your client more so in the transaction is the realtor than the client themselves. Because at the end of the day, if they're buying a home, then they're qualified. And if they're qualified, that'll come. But you need the realtor on your side because they're the ones doing all the handhold. They're the ones where most buyers, unless they're an accredited investor that knows what they need, and if most buyers are following the realtor like your mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
This just what does this mean? They're asking me for this lead inspection. So you need the realtor on your side. And the way you do that isn't by selling them or telling them the right script. It's by genuinely being, and I don't mean this, it's just being the guy.
Yeah.
Or gal. Just being the guy. Like you're there and you get it done. If you can do it, you tell them. If you can't, you tell them. And you're just accessible. You get things done.
Yeah.
And when you do that and you shoot them straight, no one wants to waste, wants their time wasted. So it's like at the time when Rocket Local started in October 2022 and started as franchise banking, there was 35 of us who they were like, if you closed at least 10 organic closings inside 6 months, you got this opportunity. And they told us, they're like, you will have the opportunity to work strictly off of referrals. There's a different compensation package. But the stipulation is you're no longer going to take leads. And that scared a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no more leads? You can take 5 a day. 5. That's what was said. So it was initially scary. But at the time, I was working closely with Michael Brennan. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Mike Brennan, John Socken, Chris Osterlin, Sam Neiman. All those guys had a massive influence over me. Massive. Because I saw these cats. They're like cool cats, a decade or so older than me. Working off of referrals, working with what seemed like their friends. The way that they're talking on the phone is different than, hi, this is Mo Hassan over here at Rocket Mortgage. How can I help you?
Right.
It's a little bit more informal. That's where I thrive, is that, that connection piece. And I was already not taking as many leads. I was already working off of referrals a little bit as I was building more and more. So all I did was every time I had a lead that I closed, I'd call the realtor and I'd let them know. And they'd say, oh, I'm not going to work with Rocket. I've heard so many things. I'm not interested. And I'd be like, listen, if I was working, if I was a real estate agent and I had one deal on the month and that deal didn't close and I thought it was, I'd hate the company too.
Yeah.
If I thought I was going to get paid and I didn't get paid because of this company, I would not like this company too. I'm like, Rocket's the car, but I'm the one driving. You had a bad driver. My promise to you is I know how to drive. You've probably had a different point of contact each time you've worked with her. Well, that's no longer the case. I'm your guy. Here's a cell phone number. It's not a 1-800 number. I have referral pricing.
It's a burner phone, but it's not.
It's not. It's a 17 Pro, man. I swear it's not. It's in better condition than the personal. Look at the personal. Look how jacked up it is.
Yeah, because that's the money, man. That's why.
No, yeah, it is. It is. It really is. But it's so good. It's so good having it. I wouldn't trade it for the world, honestly. But I told him, look, I'm going to be your guy. And then you get a call on a Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Hey, Mo, this is George. We talked a couple weeks ago. I have this deal. Offer needs to go in by 6 p.m. Can you make it happen? And you show up and you call the listing agent. You let them know that your documents are impending, but I'm letting you know. Again, the file looks good. Credit looks good. I don't see any reason slowing us down. Here's my cell phone. Call me if you have any questions. Looking for it. Also, when I knock your socks off with this deal, I'm going to come back for more. I plant that seed.
Yeah.
With the listing agent, and I sure as I'll come back. And that's it. It's a series of planting seeds and following through. Planting seeds and following through. Planting seeds, follow through. Call your shot, follow through. Call your shot, follow through. You do enough of those, relationship curated.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I dropped this line the other day on somebody. I said, we got to remember, though, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit.
All it is you got to plant enough seeds.
That's it. And then you got it's like farming, right?
That's exactly what it is.
Seed, you got to watch so the vultures don't come in, the birds, right? You got to make sure the soil's good. You got to work the land. You got to water it. You know what I mean? Like it's all the things.
In one sentence, the difference between Rocket Retail and Rocket Local: Rocket Retail, you're hunting. Rocket Local, you're farming. Simply. It's a complete different style of play.
Yeah.
This works. This does too.
Yeah.
This isn't for everybody. This isn't for. That's why they both exist. That's why Westcap has a W-2 versus 1099.
Yeah.
That's why they're offering retail versus. Some cats are geared up for this. Some cats are geared up for that. Choose your poison.
Yeah. I love it. We just had a question come in.
Let's hear
it. Can you ask Mo how his golf swing is looking? From what is it? Some Sports Trivia. That's their handle, their YouTube handle.
I don't know who it is. It could be so many people. My golf swing, not the greatest. I'm a better loan officer than I am a golfer. We'll say that.
Hey, man, like I feel like if you were that good of a golfer, you wouldn't be slinging loans. You know what I mean?
But I will say, I have potential. You know what's funny? Honest to God, I hit my best score yesterday of all time.
Nice.
On the back nine of Rambler yesterday. I'm not going to share it with you because it's really bad. But it was great for me. All right. It's not much, but it's honest work.
But here's the thing. And again, this goes back to like mindset and all the things, right? Yeah. You don't quit.
No. I just started last year.
Yeah.
I just started, and I realized there's a whole world out there. I've driven by Sylvan Glen my whole life in Troy.
Yeah.
Seen Ticonderoga. I've never, last year was the first time I set foot. I've been there like 10 times since. You know, I like golf is so beautiful for so many reasons. The main reason is A, you're in nature. B, turn this off. It's kind of hard when you golf through the week or just being in real estate, you're constantly getting bombarded with calls, but you're just in the greenery, completely like disconnect from everything for like good 2-3 hours, and you come back, you're like, wow, I want to play again.
And it's just you.
Yeah.
Like there is, the amazing part about golf to me is I golf a lot. And I golfed when I was younger too. So that doesn't help my game much, but you know what I mean?
You're just anyone that's being humble plays better than they say.
But it's funny because there's a little white ball and you have this big club. Why can't you hit it straight? Like
being a golfer is very similar to being in sales.
Yes.
It's you versus you.
Yep.
And chances are you're the problem.
Most of the time.
It's not the club. It's not the ball. It's not where you're positioned. It's not the wind. It's not the green. It's not how high the tee was. It's you. It's you. And there's always going to be something to blame. Oh, the wind's so bad today. Oh, the tee was too high. Oh, I don't have my actual golf set. I have my backup golf clubs. Oh, I just got so much in my mind. It's you. Sounds like a you problem, guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of sales. Like, oh, I'm in a rut. Oh, these rates are just too high. Oh, no one's picking up the phone. Oh, my deals are falling through. They keep shopping me. It's you. It's you. It's you. So it's a very introspective game, which is another reason why I love it, because you're able to track your progress so easily. Does your back hurt?
Time to get up.
No, it's me. Excuse me. Does your back hurt after you play? That's a good sign.
Yeah.
That you're getting better.
But I think you're right. Now, Could you have better equipment? Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Could you have better balls? Yeah. Could you have a better driver? Yeah. Could you have a better putt? Like there's all those things, right? But I feel like that's where, like, relating that back to Rocket,
Yeah.
right? Like you said, that's the vehicle. Like I'm driving it,
Yeah.
right? But now they've given you, here's the Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not driving a Chevette, you're
No,
driving a Ferrari. You know what I
correct.
mean? Like the big red machine, and so that's the difference. And I
Right.
think that's like, relating that back to golf. Could I get all custom clubs and all? You've got all the custom clubs. You got everything you need. Can you operate it?
Yeah.
Right.
It goes back to the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. The clubs, this, that affects the 20%.
Yeah.
80% is you.
Yeah.
So all of that does not make, like my buddy Seth, he's one of my favorite people to golf with, if not my favorite person to golf. He'll be like, I'm like, oh, what's the difference between the Titleist Pro V1? And he'll be like, that doesn't matter for us. And he always says us. So kind of him, because he's always including me in his level, but he's a significantly better golfer than me. He's like, it doesn't matter, but it's better, ball spin it, balls back. Those are for the 80% folks, like the people that are, 80% better than everybody else.
Yeah.
That's when that 20% comes into play. For all of us, or for me, rather, folks like me, like that don't matter. Like get 80% better first and then focus on the other,
Yeah.
But
instead of losing $6 balls into the woods, I'm losing $1 balls into the woods.
I don't know if I even spend that. I don't even know if I spend that. No, Rocket isn't for, someone said it to me. They're like, it's like, it's like dating. I don't even know if I should say this. They said it's like dating the hottest girl in the room. And after a while, you're like, maybe this isn't what I want to do anymore.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. But, anytime someone asks me about Rocket, I'll say it's not for everybody, but it can be for anybody.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. It's very true. And the other part is too, it really, it's just like anything, right? Obviously this week with the big news with Rio buying Remax, like that, hit the news wire on Monday, right? That, Rio stepped in, bought Remax, and everybody's this, that, and the other, right? And then so we talk about brokerages, like what's the best brokerage to work for? What's this, that, and everybody brags on their own, right? Like obviously because it's your brand, right? Rocket's your brand, like this is why everything's with. But I think that goes back to it's who you surround yourself with, right? And now you're even insulated even more with your Rocket local group, because that's a tight group. I know all those guys. That's a pretty tight group of guys, right? Like, and I think that that's important too, right? Yes, there is. People can say what they want about Rocket. Oh, it's this, it's that. But what your experience is completely different because you're taking advantage of the people that are surrounded around you, right?
I'm so blessed. I work with to name drop a few people like just Doka Yunchai, Matt Dudek, Crane, Chris Osterlund, Brian Bauman, Joe Wilson, John Socken. All these are all Rocket legends. And I've had the pleasure of working with most of them for the majority of my career. And so a lot of that's not me. It's just good, God, right place, right time. Chance favored the prepared mind. I was prepared. So I got Chance. I got paired with Brendan early. I wouldn't be here without Brendan and Chris Osterlund. Like if it weren't for Brendan telling me that back 4 years ago, going on 5 years, I would not be here. I don't even know if I would be a Rocket. I really don't. But I work with I work closely with a really tight-knit group. We're all elite and very good at what they do. And overall, they're all kind souls. I've worked on the same team now for the majority of my career, and we all get along simply because everyone's real. When someone has an issue, they step in and help. John Socken, who's got a busier business than me, when he goes out of office, I cover him. As difficult as that is, I cover him. I got his back. When there's a client that needs to be sold, I'm selling the loan for him. No commission split. No, I'm selling the loan for my brother.
Yeah.
I tell the client, I'm an extension of him in his absence. I got your back. Right. And that's the karmic energy. You give back what you put in. So it's like, I'm surrounded by good people who simply embody this phrase right here that I learned from the book by Jim Collins, B 2.0. If you sell a good product or service at a reasonable price and you treat your clients like you do your friends, the business will take care of itself. And that's the nature of the business. I sell a product that's not really differentiating. Like it's not that different from any other mortgage company. Okay, it got sold off. Does my payment change? I put on auto pay and I forget about it. The servicing, yeah. So the X factor is who's doing it. It's me, right? That's why you get on social media, right? I'm not the first person to say buy now, refi later. It's the fact that I'm the one saying it.
Right.
And so that's the name of the game. You got to think abundantly. There's a lot of people out there, and a lot of people that don't have the knowledge that you and I do. That and it's our and a lot of people like need to know this, that if you think you're great at what you do, you sure as hell do, because you sell people on why they should work with you every single day. If you think you're the best, then more people. Your only problem is that not enough people know about you.
Right.
So fix that problem, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. But again, it goes, everybody gets lost in the marketing sauce too, right? Like everybody wants to say, oh, I need to, do this, do that. Right. But,
yeah.
And you're a social media guy, right?
Trying
like
to.
You had a viral post, right?
Yeah. 130 later and 3 years later. But it worked. It worked. It was, I saw this thing by Alex Ramosi. He said, if lottery tickets were free, you'd take as many as you can.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. He goes, that's how social media needs to be viewed. Every video costs you nothing, and it could be the one that pops off. And each person that shoots me a DM or comments or likes or reshares my post or calls me from it, it's like, keep going. Keep going. You're getting there. That's another win. Don't forget it. And you have to remember that when you have to jot it down, you have to journal it. Today I got a deal.
Yeah. So
those days when you post a post and one got 300,000 views and the next one gets 300, you're like, what in the world?
Yeah.
You have to remember those small wins to keep going. I'm not the best person. I'm not as consistent as I would like to be. I started posting March 8th of 2023. It's about nearly 1,000 days ago. I have 130 posts. That means I've missed out on 870 posts. If I had posted 870 posts between then and now, I'd have a lot more followers than I do.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's not feelings, So those are like, and it's like that one video that went viral got me 4 or 5 deals I sell mortgages, not,
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like, click the link to my TikTok shop, just flip it, ding.
It'd be nice though, right?
It would be nice if it was that quick where it's like before someone thinks just double, no, it's a mortgage.
Right.
So it's not as easy. And like people will DM you and then I'll respond and then they'll like, oh, here's a link to my application. Go ahead and fill it out. And then they never do. So then I realized I'm like, they don't think that's me. So then how I fixed that was I'll send you a voice message. And then I'll be like, hey, Neela, thank you so much for the text. I appreciate you. Let me know what state you're in. This is a moment to help you out myself. And they're like, he name dropped me. It's a voice message. And it's like trial and error, trial and error. Like I sent a couple DMs. That didn't work. They thought it's some AI. I respond with a voice. They confirms that's me. All right. I made it to phase 2. Now I need to get them on the phone. Then I got to get their credit run. Then I got to make sure they qualify. Then I got to sell them.
Right.
So there's a lot of steps that comes with social media. It's not just making videos. Because there's a lot of steps to curating the sale after the fact. But it's in a nutshell for anyone that's in sales. Phone sales is like throwing the line in the ocean.
Yeah.
You're hoping you're going to hook one. Whereas making a video is like throwing it in the water. You're likely going to catch a lot more fish. Granted, you're going to catch a lot more stuff than you want. You're going to have to sift through it. But once you create a system to sift through it, you'll be left with a lot more output than just single phone calls.
Yeah. Yeah. That, and it's always a numbers game. And how can I get to the most amount of people?
Yeah.
Right. Like how can I get my information in front of the most amount of people? You come on somebody's podcast and then we're going to get all this information out.
It's funny though. It's like, like Ronaldo says this, he's like, I can come in and I can tell you exactly what you need to be a champion, to have an 8-pack at 40 years old and X, Y, and Z, and how to be worth $1 billion in soccer. And he's like, most people won't do it. I'll give you the sauce from A to Z, exactly what you need to do. He's like, most people, because they'll say it's, it's too much work.
It's too hard.
It's too hard. It's, I don't have time, but this, but that. And I'm not exempt of it. Like, believe me, like there's
Oh, we all have our moments, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like it's like falling off the wagon. You know, like you business is going and you got blinders on sometimes, and that's a problem too because
Yeah.
we don't see the blind corner, right? We should turn left and we went straight. You know, there's all those moments where it's like we just, but then it's like who's the one bringing you back,
Yeah.
and that's where it goes back to like who you surround yourself with,
100%.
because you got some guys that'll just like knock you right back into your lane, like, hey man,
More than I'd like.
Well, yeah, right.
More than
like,
like.
whoa, I didn't even step out yet.
I'm like, yo, that's funny.
Take it easy, CO, right?
Oh, it's funny. He messaged something. I messaged back and I'm like, I'll do this later. Or I remember what I said, but I said Chris. And he's like, no one likes accountability. It's not fun. But he knew how I felt when I just called him Chris instead of CEO or boss. But Jim Rohn, probably one of my favorite people that I've ever come across. Back when I first started, and I'm really trying to, like, I know, who am I? Like, what am I doing? He goes, you never work harder on your job than you do on yourself. That stuck with me my entire career. Like, you'll never outwork yourself over your job. Like the more you work on yourself, the better you'll do. And the more you work on your job, the more you sacrifice yourself. And like easy example of that is like waking up early, which means going to the beds earlier, having your gym bag packed prior the night before, getting to the gym before work, clearing, because it's not for, oh, I'm a fitness guy, I am disciplined. It's I'm devoted. I'm devoted to being a better person, right?
Right.
Getting my mind right.
And that's, again, it goes back to that. That's the hard part, is like finding that discipline to, you know, again, I coaching agents, right? Like, I'm like, the more boring your schedule is, the more money you'll make.
Simple.
You know what I mean? Like, if you just, you know, and again, and then there's shifts in business, and there's shifts in how you do business, right? Like, and you shifted from just boom, lead to like record scratch,
literally
no lead, but you had already built some sort of referrals,
right?
Because you had to have enough to get into that
exactly
to begin with. So you had started that, so you kind of had an idea how that worked. But at the same point, like, now it's like, all right, I got to rebuckle back down to how I did this before, right? Because again, if you're just getting fed like that, it's pretty easy just to be like, go ahead with the last four.
I mean, I'll say, like, the hardest thing for me right now is to take time off.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go home to Egypt, where I'm originally from, but like, I want to take like a 2-month vacation, for example, and like go spend time with my family. Like, my entire family's there. Everyone's getting older. And because like 2-3 weeks isn't enough. And by the time you get used to things, it's time to go back. It's like, all my business are relationships. They're not working with Rocket, they're working with Mo. If I leave for 2-3 months, no matter how good I am, if I'm just not there, they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. And so that's the trade-off. But when you're taking leads, you can just have an out-of-office banker to cover you. And, you know, that you just pick up where you left off when you get back.
Yeah.
So it has its cons. It's not just, you know, it's amazing. No, it's like, well, now, like, I really have to make a decision here. Like, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to structure my life? But at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because now, after a certain point, you could really decide who it is that you want to work with. In the beginning, you're just kind of like, you know, like, you got to deal with what comes. At a certain point, if you don't like a specific realtor style, if you don't like how they talk to you or whatever, you like, you can put in it, like, listen, like, I don't like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to work with the way that you're talking to me, for example. And, you know, you don't answer when I call you, this and that. Like, so then that way, at a certain point, when you have a consistent book of business, you can be like, if you're not going to do this, then I'm not going to, you know what I mean? And it's refreshing, but every now and then you get in the weeds. You're like, I like it's Tuesday, it's 12 p.m. Sold what I could sell. I've called who I've called. Phone says, you know, no inbounds. What now? What do I do? Like, I can't just click auto in and get leads. It's like,
right.
Now what? You know, and it's like, I believe me, I've been there, and it's like there has to be multiple avenues of seeds being planted, and when things are good, that's when you double down. Not when, oh yeah, got a good month this month.
Yeah,
but chill out. Well, there's gonna come a point next week, you know, next month, or you're going to sell everything, and you're going to be sitting there like, how do I not only get this person to refer me business? Well, how do I get them to sell quickly? And so I can sell them. That way I can, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be a well-oiled machine that's consistently running things that are going on every single day, even when things are good. And that way you don't have those droughts.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like our sales roller coaster, right?
Right.
I get you. Yeah, I'm not busy. I don't have any business, and so I go back to prospecting, right?
Right.
And then I start prospecting when my business gets busy again, right? Now I stop prospecting because I'm busy.
Yeah.
And then now I'm not busy anymore. And now I got to start prospecting again. And we do these heavy lifts, throughout our career, throughout the year, right? Like throughout the year of like, well, we know it's second quarter right now. We know if this weather ever cooperates with spring, Jesus, it's 40 degrees today. But if we know spring is sprung, right? Like I'm seeing multiple offers. I witnessed it this week. Appraisal guarantee, waived inspection, 15,000 over asking on a $250,000 house.
And the rates are 7%.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
But appraisal guarantee, waived inspection, which I would never. Appraisal guarantees, if you got the cash, I'm good with it. If you really want the house, I'm okay with the appraisal guarantee. I would never waive an inspection.
Never.
I would never tell somebody to waive an inspection. Now, I'll do inspection for information purposes only, right? Meaning, if the foundation's bad, if we find some egregious things wrong with the house, we're not going to buy it probably, right? But I'm not going to beat you up for switch plate covers and nicked paint, right? Like,
definitely.
I remember those days though, man. Like when you had a buyer and you could just start naming stuff to fix before they would. Now it's like just whatever, just throw me the house.
Yeah,
But we still have, and you brought up the rates, right? I think this is the thing, and I had Dante Shackelford on with me a couple weeks ago. He's a hard money guy, but we were talking about like he's like everybody's got to stop worrying about the rate and start worrying about your budget.
100%.
Because the rate's the rate.
1,000%.
And so happens in 2 years if it drops, and by the end of this year, right? They're projecting that these rates are going to come down. But if they do, just refi, right? Like just you can fix that. But is it staying in your budget?
I just want to touch on a point earlier when we were talking about like sales low and then prospecting. It's like this isn't a job. Even though I'm a W-2 employee, you have to look at it as a business owner. And business owners, like, I know that this is my busy season, this is my slow season. And planning the year in advance, and that way you don't enter in those deep, mental, ruts. And that way, like if quarter two things start speeding up, well, then quarter one is where I do the majority of my prospecting. And that way I coast through quarter two, quarter three. And that way I could just do drip campaigns and whatnot and coast through 3 and 4, and then go back into hard prospecting at the beginning of the year. But to the rates, there's always a house to be sold, whether it's $50,000 or $5 million. There's houses all in between.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the budget, it's your expectations. Your expectations are what need to be adjusted more than anything. Simply because if you're so focused on getting that 3-bedroom with the backyard, but you're only approved up to 250, and that only gets you 2 bedrooms in the backyard, well, then you need to shift your expectations either in drive time or in bedrooms. Because chances are, if you go out far enough and you add 15, 20 minutes to your drive, you'll find what you're looking for, but then now you want too much.
Right.
So then you just need to understand that I'm going to get what I can afford so I can get the right side of appreciation. And I'm earning it and not paying it. The whole idea of buy then just refi, that only holds so much weight to me, because so many people overextend themselves waiting for rates to come down. That's the wrong play.
Right.
That's not it, because your payment's going to go up. Chances are when you buy, the change in ownership triggers property taxes to go up. Your payment will probably increase in the first 18 months. So you're likely going to see an increase in your payment in the first 18 months than you are going to see a decrease with a refinance. If you refinance with 18 months, congrats. You lucked out, right? You timed it correctly. But I don't have a crystal ball. I know I'm Arabic, but I don't have a genie. You know what I mean? Like, so
if you did, would you let me know?
I would tell you.
Okay,
I would tell you. It's expectations. Like listen, I know you don't want this condo. I know you would prefer a single family house, but here's the deal. real estate goes up. It might be tight. You can either A, rent that house that you want for rent or no equity, or suck it up for 2 or 3 years, get this condo, get a condo with a basement, finish the basement, add the room, figure it out. Figure it out. Get on the right side of appreciation. Stay the 2 years. That way you're exempt from paying capital gains on your profits up to $250,000 if you're single, $500,000 if you're married. Take your pros and buy that dream home. Or else 2 years later, you're going to be paying rent. God knows if you've saved up or not, because rent's not cheap. It's not like rent's free. It still costs money, sometimes more than the mortgage itself.
Well, it always is more than the mortgage itself.
Yeah. Most
Otherwise,
of the time,
the investor's terrible.
Yeah, well, a lot of times now, like you have areas where the values are like California, where buying is more expensive than renting. But for the most part, it's like you really it's expectations.
Yeah,
it's more than anything.
Yeah, it is, and I think I think it's setting those expectations at the beginning, and that comes in a relationship between the realtor and the LO.
100%,
right? Like that becomes in our relationship, and getting to this and explaining to this client, like that was one of to bring up Spring Showdown and my big face that's back here. But we were both in Spring Showdown last week, right? A week ago, right? Last Thursday, and but I think one of the cool things about that, the question that Chris asked me, one of the objections I had to overcome was like, and he's like, Chris wanted to intentionally give me this question, right? Because he said, Jimmy, why would I use the loan officer you sent to me? Like, don't you guys work together? Why should I trust this guy because you sent him to me? To overcome that objection, I just said, hey, listen, totally understand where you're coming from, right? I get it. I sent you this person over. You don't know who they are. I know who they are. And the reason that I sent them over is because I trust them, right? And I do get to work with them every day. And the reason I work with them every day is because I trust what they do. I appreciate their work. They do the best for me, right? We stay in communication all the time. And that's the benefit of the client, of you, right? And I'm trying to give you the biggest benefit in this market. And that's by working with the loan officer that I sent you over.
1,000,000%.
Right?
1,000,000%. Piggybacking off the realtor and the loan officer is how it's like sometimes it's good cop, bad cop. Sometimes it's like alley-oop to LeBron slam dunk. Sometimes I'm strategic with how we approach certain, you know what I mean? And it's like sometimes as the realtor, like sometimes they feel like they get put in a corner. It's like, hey, you're not in this alone. Like I can take some of this too. You need me to deliver some news. You need me to get some information. You need me to call somebody. I got you. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but once you really have like any difficult deal that I've ever had, it's because me and the realtor are like this, we're in touch. We're on the same page, we're aligned, and we're making it happen. It's one of my favorite lines is, I'm not Dave Chappelle. I don't get paid to try. I get paid to close. And if I didn't, then you wouldn't be referred to me.
Yeah.
If Jimmy had referred me to you last time and I didn't close, I would not be in contact.
Yeah.
He would not have referred me. That usually gets a laugh.
How many, so with Rocket Local, and I went out, everybody it's not just local here.
Yeah. Local to where they are.
Local to where the agent is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how many states are you in?
28.
Did you get to go to all the states, man?
Yeah, I do. I've been to a lot of states. My business is pretty scattered all over. But I've got pretty localized relationships in here in Michigan, in the Northeast, New Hampshire, Maine, shout out Joey G. And then in Georgia, California. I've got over the years, I've got a lot of scattered relationships, and then now even more so with social media.
Right.
People are just calling me, well, that was another reason why I got on it. I'm like, I've got access to over half of America. Why shouldn't I?
Yeah.
But it's you definitely want to focus on one local area, but at the same time, being scattered is kind of dope. Like, you get to talk to people all over the country, see states I've never been to before, and go there. And I have people in most states in America now, which is pretty dope.
Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that tells you where we're at with technology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? COVID sped us up to technology. Or COVID sped our technology up, right? It's just like this show, right? You didn't have to come sit here. I could have streamed you in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've streamed people in. The guy I had in last week was in Washington, D.C.
Oh, wow.
So, but he was streamed in. So technology has sped that up. And again, I've had Zooms with clients, right? Like with a potential client where we jump on a Zoom with the husband and wife. We kind of just do our buyer seller appointment over Zoom because they got kids and they're running here and they got this and they got that and it's 8 o'clock. Can I just, and they, I can go to their house at 8 o'clock, but they want me at their house at 8 o'clock. Not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kids are in bed, the dog's quiet for a minute. So you can jump on a Zoom with someone.
Sure.
So it just makes it, and I love doing the Zoom when I can. I obviously I like face to face way better.
100%.
But if I can't get that, if I can get them on a Zoom, because then at least they see me, right? To your point, when you said the social media, that's like your output now because most of your business is over the phone.
Yeah.
But now you can send them your links, you can send them your social media. And again, that goes back to when I tell people too, be careful what you're putting out on your social media.
1000%. It's so important because it's like I have people, even though I have not that many followers, people, a lot of like anytime I go somewhere locally now, someone usually comments, I've seen your videos. I've seen your video. And I'm like, really? You did? Like the guy at X or Top Golf or 5-Iron in downtown Detroit, the server there saw me, and I'm like, really? You know who I am? or I'm at the mosque praying during Ramadan, and then one guy he's like, hey man, I see your videos. I was like, really? And it just gives you a scope of like the magnitude of people that you have access to. So you definitely want to be careful with what you put out there. It's like you could be authentic, but also, be careful.
Yeah, be careful
of what you put out there.
Right. And that's what I say, like, you and I follow each other on social media or whatever, but then again, like, this is what you get. Like this, what you see on my social media is me. Yeah. It's like
100%.
You know what I mean? It's not, it just, there's no fakeness to this. No. It just is what it is.
And
the same thing with you. You know what I mean? Like,
try to.
Yeah.
I try to. I definitely do. And I will say this, I'll give myself some credit. Every time I've gotten someone on the phone from social media, they're like, yeah, man, I called you because you shoot it straight.
Yeah.
You say it how it is. You don't fluff it up, I feel like that's also why I did well with the Spring Showdown. Do you remember me name dropping you twice?
I do remember you name dropping. And I've had other people mention that to me.
Did they really?
Like people are like, wow, dude, people are dropping your name in the ring. And I'm like, well, it was my man Mo.
That was like, as I was preparing the nights prior, I'm like, I'm going to name drop Jimmy. Like I will name drop him. I was hoping that I'd be standing next to you.
I was hoping that too, man. I was hoping that too. I think we got robbed, but it's all right. But hey, how fun was that event?
I loved it. Yeah. I loved it. I remember at Oktoberfest when I saw CO. First of all, CO should have won it. That's something I'm going to put out there. I'm going to put that out there. But hey, it is what it is. It was what it was. But I remember looking at that and I'm listening to those calls. I was like, put me up there. I'm like, yeah, let me do this. And then sure enough, 6 months later, CO was like, hey, you're doing it. And then I'm like, oh crap. Like, I actually did. Like, am I really doing this right now? But it was funny. Like, as I was preparing, my answers were so, like, I was talking over a minute. I was talking a little longer than I should have. I was timing myself. But when I got up there, it was just, everything shut up. Yeah. My only concern was I kept talking too. My voice is already pretty low. Right. I feel like they lowered my mics on purpose.
They didn't want the Rocket guy to win.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they didn't want the Rocket guy to win. So we got about 2 minutes left, man. So what is your biggest, if somebody were to become a loan officer today, right? I just passed my safe, right? I'm going to hit the phone. What is your biggest piece of advice to a new LO today?
Get clear as to what it is that you want. What do you want 5 years from now? Really try to get a crystal clear mental image and break that down. And then reverse engineer your way to there through a series of systems, executionable items that you can do on a daily basis that if you were to do so consistently between now and the next 60 months, it would be unreasonable to believe that you wouldn't get there. Measurable progress, reasonable time. Crystal clear in where you're going, though. Otherwise, the industry will swallow you. The days fly by like hours, like minutes. It's crazy. It's May. I was just in Brazil for New Year's yesterday. It's May. It's been 4 months.
Yep.
The time flies. My saying, this is something I came up with. Time flies when you're not paying attention. And so get crystal clear and then work your way towards it.
Yeah. I love it, man. Great piece of advice. Great. Where can everybody find you?
At Mo Mortgage on TikTok, at Mo.mortgage on Instagram, 313-877-3064. You'll find me.
Well, I love it, man. I appreciate it. And I told you this hour goes by faster
It
than
sure
you think.
did.
Yeah.
Sure did. I loved it. This was great.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Next week, we'll be back with the Elite Real Estate Podcast. Find us wherever you find podcasts, EliteEdgeNetwork.com. And then don't forget, every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you can get in the Performance Lab with the Elite Edge Network. So, all right, guys, find us everywhere you find social media. See you next week. Every day's a gamble, living off the high stack, turning